Hello Internet. Today I decided to go ahead and do some Diablo streaming here. It's just one of my level 62 character, so it's not one of my max levels or anything. Kind of go over how I built my character and then do a quick rift with Robert. So, just a random set. Didn't really do a whole lot with it. I noticed I was getting a lot of cold stacking. So I did go through and enchant, which you can see the little turn arrows there. That I did enchant it to get cold bonus skills. So my total cold skills is 47%. So I'm going cold. I don't have any bonuses to any of my particular abilities. So for my basic attack, going to Magic Missile, Glacial Spikes, which does a direct damage and freezes them for 1 second. If they're frozen by it, they won't be able to be frozen by it again for 5 seconds. So it initially does a really good control, and then it will be a little worse afterwards.
I have a new ally in my group.
I do an Arcane Orb, and I'm using the rune that makes it so that it does an area effect as it goes around, and does cold damage, so it does that. Now it can reach pretty far if I hit that far, so as far as regards to cooldowns, or passives I guess, I decided to reduce all my cooldowns by 20%, use Glass Cannon, which increases my damage but reduces my armor and resistance, so I take more damage, and Cold Blooded, which anyone that is frozen or chilled takes like 10% extra damage from me. The reason I went cooldown is I decided to go cooldown build. So I have Frost Nova here, which blasts enemies with explosion of ice and freezes them for 2 seconds. And they also take 33% more damage while they're frozen. And that's from my Bone Chill. And then Mirror Image, it's not cold. But instead, I basically can make 2 illusionary duplicates of myself that taunt nearby enemies, last 7 seconds, and I have 50% of my life. And the rune I'm using right now is they also deal 20% of my damage with my own spells. And then I went Archon, which is with the cold rune, does cold damage. Which I'll go ahead. First, these are my duplicates. In combat, they will actually go ahead and attack too. See, they don't last super long though. And then this is Archon mode. Basically, it changes my ability, so I have a Frozen Strike, does that. AoE in front of me, a Disintegration Ring. I can do a Slow Time Bubble around myself, and that does travel with me. Or I can do Ice Blast, which is an AoE all around me instead of just in front of me. So it's a really big cooldown. It's 120 seconds? Yeah, 120 seconds default. One limitation of Diablo is that the lowered cooldown reduction from abilities and spells and stuff does not reflect in here. Like it'll actually tick down faster, but it won't actually change the number that's on the cooldown tooltip. Last ability, I went with Frozen or Ice Armor, which surrounds myself in a barrier that reduces damage from melee attacks. Melee attackers are either chilled or frozen for 3 seconds, and everyone around me takes 80% weapon damage. I can only have 1 armor up at a time, and I decided to go with Ice Armor because, you know, I'm being a Frost Mage right now. So, if you don't have the expansion, basically you pick up these Rift Stones from doing quests, basically, and you can put them in this Nephilim Rift here. Basically creates a random dungeon for you to play. You can actually see that Dustin, my brother-in-law, is here. Robert is not in the game just yet. But we're going to go ahead and move on anyways.
I don't have enough arcane power.
So something I did not know is my little buddies, my minions I summoned, will actually also have the Ice Armor. Awesome. The Ice Armor are awesome.
Need more arcane power.
You can see their cooldown comes up pretty fast.
I need arcane power.
These are just regular rifts, so these do scale with our level and difficulty, which is not something that the
Enough arcane
greater rifts do.
Your defenses are nothing.
But greater rifts also don't drop here, whereas regular rifts do. We're also doing regular rifts just because we're leveling up.
Think I can get any better?
In game, if you have a greater rift stone, I would use the regular rift stone. These guys have electrified, molten, nightmarish fire chain. Fire chains you'll see occasionally chains go around them. You don't want to be in the middle of that, so that's fire chains. Molten drops the molten fire on the ground. Electrified, you'll see that it's shooting out electricity constantly.
Not ready yet.
Molten also explodes like that. Which you also have to know of. The only problem with Frost mode is having to be near them, which is not something I really want to do with this character. Funny how wizards don't like being on front. Usually. Robert's evil cackling from the other one reminds me. So, these guys I have to be a little more cautious about. They do have reflex damage, which whenever they're getting the auras like that, I actually take quite a bit of damage for myself. He also has Arbiter, which you see the little lightning orbs. It can actually be pretty dangerous to me. But nothing too troubling. I actually have pretty good healing right now, which healing just represents your healing per second that you can do. I just grabbed a conduit, which is making it so everyone I walk by gets hit with lightning. Now, what they just did to me was called Frozen ability, which is probably one of my most dangerous ones in this game. It actually frees you in place and do quite a bit of damage if you stand in it. Now, one thing that I normally go with my wizard build, I'm distinctly feel lacking right now. I usually have teleport, so not having teleport makes me feel very immobile. These guys are Fire Tame, Teleporter, Avenger, Orbiter. Again, I've seen all the other ones before except Avenger. So if I kill one of these guys, the others are going to get stronger. That's why I killed them all pretty close together. So we didn't have too much of a problem. Now I am really well geared for my level right now, so this does seem pretty easy right now compared to normal. But when you're leveling up in Diablo, your OP-ness does not usually last very long.
Not ready yet.
We've got another rare. These guys are extra life frozen plague knockback. I said frozen can be an issue. In fact, I believe that just killed Justin. And it's kind of hard to tell where frozen is sometimes with my frost balls and all that going on. See the little ball of frozenness there.
Still waiting.
See, that's why I like teleport. Getting out of that line of frozen was not easy to do, obviously. Plague, on the other hand, I usually don't worry about.
I need arcane power.
It's not a very difficult or powerful fix. As long as you have any sort of healing, it's not a big deal. Maybe it's a big deal if you don't have any healing items on you. Which I do just like heal per second for the most part. Dustin is playing Demon Hunter. I'm not sure what build he's going right now. Other than it looks like he's using rapid fire with missiles, I think, for the attack. Now I kind of wish I had saved my before. This guy is Thunderstorm shielding over a vortex. What shielding does is, out of all his minions, one of them will usually be immune at a time. Hopefully they're not the ones chasing down Dustin right now, because he's a lower level on us.
Not ready yet.
You can see that guy has a shield on him. Dusty's doing a pretty good job of kiting that guy. Kiting, being, chasing him around. So he doesn't get a chance to attack. Follow the devil pin. So another reason why I'm kind of going the build I am is I'm using an epic gem I got from one of my high level characters that increase my damage on people who are crowd controlled. So anyone that I'm stunning or slowing or freezing, I am doing more damage to. It's only 15%, but it's still pretty nice. Okay. Robert's here now, he's teleporting to us. He's playing the Crusader. I'm not exactly sure what build he's going right now. You want to tell us about your build, Robert?
Well, basically I noticed that I had mainly good cooldown reduction. So I'm using a whole bunch of cooldown. I did a whole bunch of cool builds.
Yeah, I ended up going a slight cooldown build too. I don't have a lot of it on my gear, but I do. All of my arcane power is going towards my frozen spinny thing. I decided to go cooldown based on my other stuff. Now that Robert here, this is going to be considerably easier to go through here. Not that it's super hard with how controlling the characters right now. Yeah, I did go ahead and use some of my AoEs there, because I was surrounded by people.
Right now we do have, I did grab a shrine that makes our cooldowns are reduced.
Oh, sweet. Wow, yeah, my Archon's almost back already.
Yeah. Doesn't last much longer though, so we just keep running.
Talking about how I'm used to having teleport, I just used mirror image because it was in the same spot. You'll see that yellow lightning coming off of Robert every once in a while. That's also a greater rune. Or epic rune, I guess. Gem.
I'm killing a hungry torso, by the way.
Is that what his buddies are? So this guy also has nightmares, which if he hits us, he has a chance of making us run away. Pretty much what you'd expect. Just over here. Typically try to mark where chests are. Yeah. Little symbol. Finding chests with no enemies. So these guys are Thunderstorm. You'll see Thunderstorm dropping from the sky, and I have kind of to move out of it. Except it goes away so fast. I think you're supposed to move out of it, but it almost feels like you're not supposed to. How fast it goes away. I've always been a little smart about it. Personally, I just try to survive through it. I killed a rare up here.
I killed a rare down here.
So Robert's playing right next to me, but Dusty is not. So if I talk in the chat or anything, I'll see why.
Dustin being the Sorark character that we have on our party.
Yeah, Sorark is Dustin, and then Sage would be Robert. And I should probably inventory. Identify the shield. I'll let them fight it out while I do this. Blocking attack has a chance to freeze the attacker for 1.1 second. Int life and monster kills gave it more XP. I would lose 17% of my cold damage for a 6% increase in toughness. Does have a nice ability, but Dustin can't use a shield, and I know Robert just got a shield upgrade, so he probably not going to want it either.
But if you want to look at it.
We have the transmog.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
Okay. So the transmog system, once you pick up an item of a certain look, you can make all your stuff look like it. And I've already seen that one, but see if either of them need it. You can only trade legendaries up to a certain period of time.
And
Go ahead.
And you can only trade them with people who were in the party at the time of their drop.
Yeah. So I can trade them to these two because they were here in my party whenever it dropped, but if someone else joined my game, I won't be able to give it to them. So that's the reason we trade it, is that way each of us get the transmog. That's my favorite part about this R, is just all the things I break just walking by them.
Your defenses are nothing. We are King Power. My power grows.
Yay! That's Typically, whenever we level up, we don't bother going through and looking through everything until we go back to town.
Not ready yet. Your brain.
That's dead again. I almost died there.
I died.
Oh, awesome. Now the Rift Guardian, once we filled that bar up, he'll come in. He's like a bot. He's a pretty big boss.
He's like a boss.
He is a boss.
He's kind of like a boss, you know. He kind of shows up, yells at us, we're not doing our job well enough, and he kind of disappears.
Yeah. Sometimes we get a raise. By that I mean legendary.
Joker?
Yeah.
How do you not think I want him as an actual boss?
Maybe it's because I've been playing XCOM so much, but it makes me think of the Jokers of that. And it makes me look at their his tentacles and go, nope. So he seems to be stunned or frozen a lot. Well, I'm not that worried about standing back. I'm just kind of blasting him with everything I got.
Oh god.
Now those things you want to try to avoid. I sound like Robert just learned.
No, I was looking at those stuff.
Oh. For whatever reason, standing back at things. He is 7 levels below us, and the jump at level 60 is pretty huge. So he's having a difficult time with it, I'm sure. I love the fact that my mirror images both do the aura and do my cross nova. My 20% cooldown reduction, I almost keep them up the whole time. You ready, Justin?
Yeah.
Now, I think you can just do a normal res here.
I know.
Because it's not an actual boss. It's not coded in the game as like pin boss or anything. The actual bosses in the game, you cannot revive yourself during combat. Which makes the final boss of Reaper of Souls really annoying, because if you mess up, it's not hard to die. You're gonna have to go through a 10-minute fight without any problem. Without messing up. There are ways to mitigate it, but it's not easy. I'm destined to be alive whenever I kill this guy.
Oh yeah, whenever you kill that guy. Yup. All you.
You see me in my laser form? Yes, you do. So that's a rift. We'll go back to town and turn in the quest, close the rift. Good to go. Thank you all for joining us for Diablo time. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.